everybody, it's Janessa from Simply Eloped. I'm here for your tip of the week, and this week we're talking about how to elope safely during COVID. My first tip is to limit your group size to 10 or less, and that includes you and your vendors and your guests. The reason for that is once you get a group larger than 10, it's just hard to socially distance, whether you're inside or outside. So when able, limit your group size to 10. We totally understand that there are different state-by-state regulations for group gathering, and I highly recommend that you heed those based on the state that you're eloping in. When you're able, definitely hold your ceremony outside or in a well-ventilated room. Even with social distancing and mask wearing, you can still spread those germs. So if you want to play it safe, just do it outside. From the top of the mountain to the beach side, there are great destinations that are going to make your big day so special. So don't feel limited just because it has to be outside. If you are limiting your group size but want a really special way to involve your friends and family, I highly recommend doing two things. First of all, you can stream your ceremony. Provide a Zoom link, have someone point a laptop or a phone, and they can feel essentially like they're at your ceremony live time. That's fun. If you don't feel like streaming your ceremony because you still want it to be a private and intimate moment, hire a videographer. They're gonna make this epic, amazing video that encapsulates all of the magic of your big day, and then you can share that with your friends and family after your ceremony. So it still feels intimate, but they can still feel involved in your big day. If you want to be sure that you're not going to spread COVID to your friends and your family, especially if you have elders attending, I highly recommend that 24 to 48 hours prior to your ceremony, getting that COVID test. That can just save a lot of heartache by getting that negative test and give you a big peace of mind. Another great tip when you're able is to quarantine for 10 days prior to your ceremony so that you can just ensure that you're not coming into contact with anyone for the days leading up to your ceremony. This goes without saying, but definitely wear a mask while in transition and do your best to stay 6 to 10 feet away from everyone, including your vendors. Feel free to take that mask off when you're in place and ready to perform your ceremony. As much as it might be really difficult, avoid hugging and handshaking with your friends and family and with your vendors. We're okay with a little elbow bump, but that's not 6 foot distance, so avoid it if you can. This one is a hard tip. And trust me, it doesn't come without some strain. But if you or your honey are feeling any symptoms leading up to your elopement, the last thing that you want to do is spread COVID to your friends, family, and vendors. So even if you're having a cold, some sniffles, a light cough, I recommend you postpone. We at Simply Eloped have a great blog with all of our COVID policies and recommendations. I've linked to it down below. Feel free to check it out, even if you're not eloping with us. It's just a great guideline to go by. Last tip, I definitely recommend checking in with whatever state you're eloping in prior to departing for your trip. We are still seeing a lot of shutdowns, and who knows how long it's going to take for that vaccine to get out to everybody. So just make sure that your state and your area isn't on lockdown prior to arriving. Those are my tips on how to elope safely during COVID. I know it's a weird time, but I promise you, we have performed hundreds of really lovely ceremonies during this strange time in our history. And so don't feel like just because you're eloping, your big day is gonna be anything less than magical and amazing. I hope my tips helped, and I'll see you here for my tip of the week next week.